Hello everyone, welcome to another daily planning routine vlog video. My morning starts off with preparing my daughter's breakfast. While my daughter eats, I take a look at my houseplants. Since winter arrived, my vinca plant has been kept indoors. My succulents are starting to grow, especially the aeonium. However, a few of them are having issues with powdery mildew and black sooty mole. I've been treating them with copper fungicide and I really hope it survives until spring arrives. When there's time, I help tie my daughter's hair. Today she requested for 2 hair buns and I think I nailed it. After dropping off my daughter at school, it's time for me to have my breakfast. I'm having coffee with meat floss on toast, and I usually like to watch something on the TV as I eat. After breakfast, I start my planner session. The first thing I do is mark my habit tracker. Usually it is whether I have dreamt that day. The rest will be marked later. Sometimes I would mark for the previous day as well if I had forgotten to do so. Next, I take a look at my monthly page where I keep track of my social media tasks. Here, I'm marking a task I had completed for a video. Next, I move on to the weekly pages. I mark yesterday's water intake as well as this morning's. I also keep track of my flossing habit, my targets for the week, my Wordle log, Duolingo lessons, workout, and job search tasks. I'll revisit this page later for them. Next, I check my goal tracking page. Here, I check off a task I've completed for the month. And now we've arrived at the January daily pages. This is what I've done so far for January. I really love the feel of the paper after it's been written in. I'm really liking it so far. Aside from decorating the pages with stickers, I've been also trying my hand at doodling. I was a little rusty at first. Although I was an art student before, that was decades ago, and it was just a subject I took in secondary school, or what you would call high school. Every day I challenge myself to draw something, and it's been fun trying to decide on the subject. For today's entry, I made it a Sailor Moon page. Okay, let's begin planning for the day. So here I'm listing down my tasks for the day. While I'm listing them down, I try not to write a task that's repetitive. Instead, I write them down as morning routine and evening routine. This is so I can focus on writing important tasks. As a result, my list doesn't get too long. I also refer back to the previous page and sometimes the weekly pages and the goal tracking page for any tasks that I had set myself to achieve for the week or month. Some of the tasks I include on my list are tasks that I have to make sure Esri does as it is her homework for some of the classes she's taking. Now that I'm done with the list, I move on to journaling. I'm also taking out the sticker book I had used to decorate this page because I wanted to use the star stickers to add more color while creating a division in what I'm journaling about. Before I start writing, usually I have already in mind how I want to write on the page, whether it's in free flow or form style, or in 3 columns. For today, I'm dividing the page into 3 columns. Sometimes I add a line as well. It's all based on how I like how the page looks. If there's too much white space, I add it in or use some stickers. Here I decided to make it 4 stars instead of just 3. I do the same for the next few placements. I really like how the stickers bring in the rainbow colors as it ties in well with the Sailor Moon theme. My drawings are usually just the black ink from the pen I use, and so in order to bring in some colors, I use stickers. When it comes to journaling, I prefer to finish writing in the morning rather than leaving some empty space for throughout the day. So as a result, the entries can be about some event that happened the day before. This is also to facilitate the uploads or postings I make on my social media accounts. Once I'm done journaling, I take a few photos of my page and get them ready for postings. I'm back at the weekly pages again. I'm doing my morning routine tasks which involve Wordle and Duolingo. Here I'm just logging in the answer and my score. I can't write my Duolingo notes at the moment as I need my phone to do that, and currently it's being used to film this video. Instead, I move on to the back of my planner to where I track the number of hours I slept. Here I'm using purple metallic ink to indicate I've only slept for 6 hours or so. It's an ongoing problem of mine when it comes to weekdays. I'm moving back to the weekly pages as I just realized I did not mark my flossing habit tracker yesterday. That's it for now. Next, I'm going to take some time to relax and then work on some tasks. Sometime later, I'm going back to my planner to check off some tasks. I've completed my morning routine. Like I mentioned earlier, I did my Wordle, I did my Duolingo lessons, I also logged in my breakfast, and then I wrote in my 5-year journal. I also finished unloading and loading the dishwasher earlier. I also finished my job search task and also checked through all of my emails. For gardening, I had gone out to look at my plants some more and removed any dead leaves. I think I may have to give it another fungicide treatment soon. I also did some reading. I'm currently reading 3 books simultaneously. 2 of them are from the library and 1 I own. That's all the tasks I want to check off for now. It's time to take a break and have my lunch. I'm having leftovers because we always cook big batches that can last several days. While I'm eating, I'm watching Darwin's Game on Netflix. After lunch, I take some time to make my bed. I confess I don't do this often because, I don't know, it doesn't seem like a big deal to leave it as it is. It's sometime in the afternoon and it has gotten cloudy outside. I'm back in my planner checking off some more tasks. I had folded the clothes while watching Darwin's Game. I also mark off filming video because that's what I'm doing right now, so might as well. I also took some time to go through Google Photos to remove any photos or videos that aren't worth keeping as they are taking up storage. I'm checking off decorating tomorrow as that's what I'm about to do right now. For tomorrow's page, I decided to draw Beauty and the Beast. I have some Disney stickers from Happy Planner with Beauty and the Beast related characters in it, and I also chose them because it represents a childhood memory of mine where I was watching the Disney movie in the theater with my family. I love Beauty and the Beast so much because it was a romance story and there was a kissing scene. I had originally wanted to draw the kissing scene, but I knew it would take me a lot of time to draw it, and while I'm filming, I don't have enough storage for the video. Even filming this took me a while, and I had to check frequently if I had enough storage. If I don't, I had to download the video into my computer before deleting it to make space. This is also one of the reasons why I'm cleaning up my Google Photos. I don't know why, but lately the videos I record takes up so much space, like a few gigabytes. It never used to do that. Anyway, I digress. For the Beauty and the Beast, I looked up on Pinterest and found this cute drawing of the characters done by Saint Brie in DeviantArt. I'm using a pencil to draw the characters first because I knew I would need to make a lot of adjustments. My drawings also sometimes take up too much space on the page, so I may need to erase it if necessary and start over. The drawing I chose has clear lines, and so copying it wasn't too difficult. Drawing the beast's face was a little challenging because I couldn't get the shape right or the angles of the lines right. Even the shape of the horn seemed wrong the first few times. As you can see, I kept erasing and doing them over. The areas around the mouth had to be redone multiple times as well, and later you will see that there was a mistake I had overlooked. Next was trying to get the shape of the cheeks right. It was looking a little lopsided. One side was fatter than the other. I tried erasing away some unnecessary lines so that I don't have to try erasing them later after I've drawn the lines with my pen. Next, I'm moving on to the body or his clothes. This part should have been easy enough, but later you will see that I had forgotten to draw something. You won't really know what it is unless you compare it with the original drawing, so maybe it's not so bad. I finish up with Belle's skirt next before moving on to drawing the rose. I started with the center part of the rose before drawing the rest of the petals around the center. It seemed easier that way, although I did end up blocking part of their legs. The original drawing had the rose a little lower. The original drawing also has them standing on this bowl or pedestal of sorts, and I was trying to get it right. But one side seemed shorter or odd looking than the other, so in the end, off camera, I erased it. The reason why I bring up the differences is because I wanted to show that I'm not really that great at drawing and I make mistakes a lot. When I can't do them well enough, I either erase them or change it up. Now comes the fun part. When I'm more or less satisfied with the pencil drawing, I take my pen and carefully trace the lines. It can be a little nerve-wracking as well, cause what if my hand jerks at the worst time? I can't erase it that easily compared to pencil marks. But if I go really slow, I'm less likely to make a mistake. But I also have to be careful not to go too slow because the slower or longer I linger, more ink comes out and it might thicken the line or bleed through the page. I also have to mind where I place my hand because the ink from this pen takes a while to dry and I can easily smudge a line. I've done it a few times before and so far I've been able to cover it up. Earlier when I was drawing his face, I noticed that one line of his cheek was longer than the other. So to fix this, I made the line thicker like a shadow and do the same for the other side to balance his face. After I finished tracing the lines with my pen, I thickened the lines surrounding the characters. This is a trick I discovered through Plants That Blossom on Instagram. She does these cute little doodles and thickens the lines to make them stand out. I have done the same for Sailor Moon 1 you see on the other page, and I like the effect, so I'm doing it again here. In order to avoid smudging the lines, I turn the planner around as I thicken the lines. When I'm doing the lines in the middle, I did not rest my hand on the page at all. I think I had put out my pinky and that was the only brace I had. Here I'm just adding some shadows and shade. Here is where I discovered I had forgotten to draw his vest that he has on. I decided to just do without it and be done with it. Maybe he is just wearing a really high pair of pants. Another trick to make it stand out more is to do a lighter outline like a shadow. I use a pencil to do this. The next part is nerve-wracking for me because the ink isn't completely dry and I have to erase any pencil marks that are visible. You can't really tell from here, but I was doing it really lightly so as not to accidentally smudge the lines. I don't trust my hand to brush out the eraser shavings, so I use a piece of paper instead since blowing at them didn't help. Now that my drawing is done, I can start thinking about putting down some stickers. Before I started doodling more, it was the stickers that came first. But because my drawing always unexpectedly take up space, I do the drawing first and then the stickers come later. I think this might be a problem as it deviates from my original intention to use more stickers, but I've come to love drawing so much in my Hobonichi that it became center stage. I'll try to be mindful of the size of my drawings to facilitate more stickers. The stickers I'm using not only come from the Disney Princess Plan sticker book, but also from the Simply Lovely sticker book. Later off camera, I also added some sparkling star stickers at the bottom. That took quite a bit of time, so I relaxed and continued watching Darwin's Game. Later, I did my workout following a workout video on YouTube, and when I'm done, I log in my workout on this poster I have pasted behind this door. It came with the Best Self journal and I never used it before, so now's a good time. Sometime in the evening, I opened up my planner again to check off some tasks. I couldn't help but look at tomorrow's page. I can't wait to plan in it tomorrow. Anyway, I check off exercise body from my list since I completed my workout earlier just now. I was thinking about checking off my evening routine, but I hold off because I wasn't quite done yet. I have done my Duolingo lessons and log in my exercise and lunch in my Foodlock app. Next, I'm moving to the weekly pages. I'm updating my water intake on my water tracker, and then I wrote some notes. I was writing down some words that I have trouble remembering from the Duolingo app. I mentioned before in a previous video that I was learning Mandarin, Japanese, Korean, and Spanish. My main focus right now is Mandarin and Japanese because they were easier to grasp. Korean and Spanish, not so much, so I've been slacking a bit on those. I also log in my job search task as well as my exercise that I did just now. Pink is for the job search and blue is for the workout, so I can easily spot them on the page. I'm done for now, it's time for dinner. After that, I took a shower and sit down to finish off with the rest of my evening routine. Sometime later at night, I'm back in my planner to check off more tasks. I check off evening routine as I had done them earlier. That included some reading. I had also helped my daughter with her debate homework. The topic was Healthy Food for Life, where she was supposed to come up with 5 sentences. I also helped her memorize her lines for a play. That's it for the task on the daily page. Next, I'm going to move to the calendar index page to mark off on my habit tracker. I did some strength exercises, so I marked that off. My daughter was also at her swimming class, so I marked that off for her workout. And I mark off cardio for myself because the workout did involve some cardio moves. Next, I mark my mood and the number of pages I read for the day. That's it for now. I do have some unfinished tasks which I may or may not get to them. It's my daughter's bedtime, which always includes story time, and after putting her to bed, I have a bit of supper as I was getting hungry. I continued reading for the rest of the night. So that's the end of my day. Thank you for watching and I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you did, do give me a thumbs up, and if you want to watch more of my other videos, do subscribe to my channel. And with that, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!